What's up everybody, Peter McKinnon here, and today we're talking about 3 little camera tricks that you can add to your videos to make your edits a little more fun and a little more interesting. So without further ado, let's roll that intro. I just broke Steven, I'm gonna have to glue your ass. Alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Monday morning we're gonna hit the ground running. If you notice, my voice is like 7 octaves lower because I've been sick, had a really sore throat, and I've been under the weather all last week, so I apologize for the void of not posting videos. I've really wanted to, so today's the first day where I've really felt a lot more like up to it. So back in the saddle, trying to get something out for you guys. This is a topic that I've wanted to cover for a little while. There's a few things I really love about it. Camera tricks and camera effects and doing these little things within your edits is so much fun because they're subtle. It's not like a big explosion or you're doing green screen effects or anything like that. These are very subtle little tweaks that might go over some people's heads. They might miss them completely. They might have to rewind. But that's what I love about it, because that shows the level of commitment that you have as a filmmaker, as an editor, to go through this trouble to just add something so small and subtle that it might actually be missed. But if it's not, the people who notice are like, wow, that's awesome. Like, this guy puts a lot of work into his stuff. And getting into that kind of mindset is gonna help you grow as a filmmaker or someone that does photos or videos or whatever it is that you do, but going the extra mile to just get that done, even if someone's gonna miss it. That's the principle I love behind this whole topic. So without talking anymore, we're gonna go over 3 of my favorite effects to do. I've done them in some vlogs. Some people have missed them. Some people have obviously caught them because they're more obvious than others. But we're gonna talk about the clothes changing effect. We're gonna talk about like frame blending, walking in one side, coming out the other, and reaching through like 3D space. And then we're gonna talk about a dolly zoom, which is something that I love to do with drones and cameras in general. It's just a super awesome little camera trick that you can do within the edit to make your B-roll footage just look like what is happening. So 3 of my favorite things. Let's start with the clothes changing effect. So obviously a great way to transition from one scene to another within your vlogs, your videos, your films, what have you. It's a little more of a lighthearted thing. I don't really see it done in movies very often, but in vlogs all the time. If you just want a fast transition, the clothes change effect is phenomenal for that. It's helpful. It actually helps move your story along within a vlog if you're doing something like that. But what I like about it is it can be done in so many different ways. Part of the reason I love this effect too is it kind of goes back to my roots as a magician. It feels a little bit like a quick change artist, something like that. So all that's happening is there's a cut in the footage. So you would snap your fingers and your clothes would be different. Now nothing happened there because they didn't actually do it, but what I would want to do is I would snap, take a look at my frame, say, okay, my thumb is like right above Steve Jobs' head right there. So when I snap, that's where I am. My head's pretty much center frame, and I'm not gonna move my body. So what I would do is I would snap, deliver the line of content that I wanted to say. What's up, guys? All right, so we're gonna head out. I gotta get rid of this sweater and put something else on. Boom. I'm gonna look where I am in that frame. Okay, now I'm a little bit to the right of his head. And then I'm just gonna take this off, trying not to move as much as I can. I'm gonna have the article of clothing that I wanna change into pretty close, so I'm gonna put that on. If anything moves that's out of the ordinary, if anything in the background moves, anything in the foreground moves, if my hat gets crooked, anything like that is a tell. Once you're in whatever you want it to change into, put your hand back to about where it was at the last frame, and then deliver the next line of content. Okay, good to go. When you cut those 2 together, I like to take the snap from the first clip and carry that audio of just the snap into the second clip. It's when you try to line up the snaps that things start to get a little mix match and they don't work as well, because then you got 2 snaps, or it's a little bit weird. So I take the snap from the first clip audio, drag that over the second clip where I'm now in these clothes, and then when you put it together, it looks like this. What's up, guys? All right, so we're gonna head out. I gotta get rid of this sweater and put something else on. Okay, good to go. And there you have it. That's the clothes changing effect. Now in a recent vlog, I did the same thing. I jumped up, clapped my hands, came down, I was in a completely different outfit. And that was done exactly the same way. I just remembered where I was, where my feet were in that room, when I clapped, where my shoulders looked. I looked at the clip, went and changed, came back to the exact same spot, and then just jumped and did the same clap and then cut them together using the audio from the first clip so it didn't sound weird. But using effects like this creatively is where they really shine. So let's say you're walking out of your house and you're vlogging and you say, whew, should have brought a jacket. Boom, now you're in a jacket and you go, I need a hat too. Boom, wrong hat, boom. And now you get the right hat on. Using them like that as little characters or little story arcs within your vlog or within your videos is where I find these effects really shine. So now this is a pretty basic concept and effect, but I did see a ton of questions about it when I put it in a vlog in the comments a couple weeks back. So I just wanted to touch on that and deliver that to you guys. So for those of you who don't know, Now you know. So this next little camera trick that I love to do, I don't even know what you would call it. Maybe frame blending or frame masking. Let's just call it frame masking. Essentially, it's the same technique that I taught in how to clone yourself. We're just using it in a different concept, and there's a little bit of a different way to edit, which I'm gonna show you guys on the screen in a second here. But essentially the concept is you walk off frame, but you come in on the other side of the frame before you're fully gone on this side. Now what's weird about it that gives people the is that you're on frame on each side of the frame at the same time for only about a second. Now to do this, you're gonna wanna have your camera on a tripod, and you're gonna wanna have nothing moving in the background. You can have stuff moving in the background, but it's gonna be way easier if you don't. In last week's 2 Minute Tuesday, my chair spun a little bit when I got up. And that's what made it look like a cut, because where I masked the two clips together, the chair went from spinning to still, and that made it look like there was a cut even though the background wasn't moving. So if you have nothing moving in the background, this is gonna be way easier. So let me get rid of the chair and show you what I mean. So essentially you'd be standing here and then you walk off frame. Now when I mask those two together, it looks like I just walked off this side and came right back on without ever pausing a beat, but you saw me in the same frame on both sides for about a second. Okay, so how do you actually do this in Premiere Pro? It's easier than you think. I'm gonna show you how to do it on screen right now. So if you wanna follow along, now's the time. So once you have your two clips open in Premiere, the one that you are going to walk out of, if you're kind of frame blending this thing, and the frame you're gonna walk into, you have them side by side just like this. That's where I walk away, and this one is where I walk in. So the key, the idea, the objective here is to blend those together so it's one smooth frame, but having me on frame at the same time for like a second, which is what throws you for a loop. It's like, oh, what? This is how you do that. It's not a cut. A cut would be too abrupt. Now in the last 2 Minute Tuesday, there was a little bit of a cut, like I said, because that chair was moving. But here, there's no chair. We should be fine. So let's find the spot where I walk off frame and then where I want to come in on the frame on the other side. So let's say right about here would be good. Nice and subtle. Let's take this clip, move it up. This is where I am walking in on frame. So we'll start it right about there. I'm gonna slide this over. Now here's the issue with that. Because we've slid that over top of the initial frame, you're not gonna be able to see the first frame now. So if we played that back, I just disappear, and that's not what we want. We want this to look like a loop, like I'm walking off one side, coming into the other. So we have to mask myself out and keyframe that mask away so that it's a smooth, continuous loop. Sounds harder than it is. This is how you do it. Go to the first frame of this clip right here. We're gonna make this to about 10% just so we can see the whole thing. I know it's a little bit small on the screen here, but I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Now, if we hide this, click enable, you can see my body's right there, so that's where we want to start the mask. So we'll go back to enable the clip. You're gonna come over here with that clip selected, hit the pen tool, which opens up the mask properties, and we're just gonna make a rectangle from here to here, here, over, and join that up. Once you've done that, come over to the mask settings, hit inverted, boom, you have shown up on the frame. Now if we play that back, it works, but you see this disgusting, hideous line. You think to yourself, what? That's not gonna work. What is that? That's horrible. Like that's, ugh. Easy to get rid of. You're just gonna come over, make sure you're selected on that top clip where your mask is, and you're gonna feather that line out by just dragging this until it's completely gone. You can move that mask expansion just a little bit, which is gonna, don't move it too much because you'll see it moving on the wall there. See that? So that was at 0. We're just gonna move it a little bit. Maybe it's like 25, 30 max. Now we've got our mask there, that line is feathered away, looking good. So if you play that back now, frame, it looks pretty good, but now we got this big black chunk here. So the only way to get rid of that is to go back to where this frame ends down here and keyframe that mask away as the clip continues. So here's how you do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start moving that the second my body disappears from this right side here. So my body is gone. We want to start moving that mask already. So we're gonna select that layer, hit mask so we can see that. We're gonna hit this little button here that says track selected mask forward 1 frame. And then we're gonna move this over. We're gonna hit that again. We're gonna move this over. And the goal is to get this mask off the screen before this clip ends. Selected forward again, move that over. Selected forward, move that over. We're pretty much good at this point, and we'll just get it off the screen completely. So now when we play that back, you won't see any black spots there because we've keyframed it right off the frame. So now when we play that back, walk off frame. Now when I mask those two, looks good. The only discrepancy in this would be the shadows on the wall. So there's no way that I can really get rid of those. That's why I mean things moving in the background make it harder, a chair spinning, shadows, because I've got a key light right here, which is casting different light onto this side of the wall than it is this side of the wall. So like midday or really even light are things you want to look for to make this effect look as best as you can. But if we were just playing this, nobody's really gonna catch that. If it's a vlog, it's just the extra little bit of effort that counts and makes this effect super, super awesome. Walk off frame. Love it. All right, the third and final camera trick, and I maybe wouldn't even call this one a camera trick, more of just like a cool editing technique, but I love it so much that I had to include it. You guys have probably seen it done in my videos and others as it's a popular effect, but it's called the Dolly Zoom, and it's when you have the camera moving backwards, be it that that's a drone flying backwards, or you're just manually moving the camera backwards, or you have it on a stabilizer. And as that camera's tracking backwards, you digitally zoom within your editing software forwards, and it gives this crazy parallax, trippy effect where it's like space and time. I can't even explain it. It looks like this. It just looks so cool, and it's a great way to make your footage, your drone shots, your tracking shots look exceptionally it just makes them look insane. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what is happening? How is that being achieved? And when I learned about how easy it was, I started doing it all the time. So use it sparingly, but it's pretty simple to do. Find a shot that you have that's tracking backwards. The easiest thing that I've found to do is to fly a drone straight backwards because you've got that stabilization built in. It looks great. Fly it backwards, whatever you're gonna do. Bring that clip into Premiere, go into the effect controls. You're gonna hit scale to start a stopwatch, a keyframe at the very beginning of that frame. Go to the very end of that frame and then zoom the clip in. It works best with 4K footage because you've got more data and more room to play with, but go to the end of that frame, zoom in a little bit. Don't go overboard. Subtlety is key here, just like all of these effects that we've been talking about. But you go to the end and you just zoom in a little bit, and that's gonna add that last keyframe. So that zoom is gonna happen over time from the first keyframe to the last keyframe. And when you play that back, it's that easy, it's done. You've got this crazy trippy effect that I just love to do, and it makes your drone shots look a little more special and a little more unique. So I know you guys are gonna have fun with that one. All right, so we have the clothes changing effect, we have the frame blending wormhole portal effect, and then we have the Dolly Zoom. 3 awesome things that you guys can add to your videos to make your edits, your films, your vlogs a little more exciting and add a little bit of camera magic. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hit that like button if you like this video, smash it if that's something that you're into. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go drink some tea. Peace. Oh, all right, we're back in, gonna have to glue it.